Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, hello, my name is Bella. I am a life and style blogger, and today I am back with another home style video, and that is why I'm on the floor. I seriously considered moving my plants so that I can use them as the background, but I also really like being able to just sit on the floor and talk to you guys. I really loved this in the last home video that I did, and I think saying home video literally makes it sound like I'm making a Nigerian film. If you like home content, if you're transitioning right now in life to like a different phase where like you have to be paying bills, if you realize that furniture is hella expensive and you're just like what it is that is going on, not what is it or what it is that is going on, then make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you are not already subscribed. Today, guys, we are going to be talking about something that's going to be a bit controversial. You know, I feel like it's a bit controversial. It might not be, it might just be me that's just like ultra sensitive, but I am hoping that this video is going to be a two-part series, a mini series, but it just depends on how well this first video does. So depending on your feedback and what you feel and how you feel about this video will determine whether I'll do the other part. But anyway, you know by the title already, so there's no need for me to be wasting too much time. Today we are going to be talking about the things, the design choices and etc that I will just not be, you will not be seeing, you guys will not be seeing in my household. The closer I get to moving in, and I think also being able to have the benefit of being in Nigeria where it's not difficult to customize certain things, people are more lenient with you like changing out things in like your house. For example, if you're renting, it's so much easier to like be like, yeah, I want to paint here, I want to move this. People are not as fussy. Landlords in Nigeria are not as fussy. And if you also have the benefit of having your own house, obviously everything has to shall be custom, bottom line. You kind of have the option of doing a lot of things to make the space feel like your own. And in that, and in the internet and just like social media and etc, there are so many forms of inspiration. Like there's Pinterest, everybody has their Pinterest board now, everybody has their mood boards for everything and etc, and that is absolutely amazing. But sometimes I feel like it can be a bit overwhelming when you have too many inspirations and you start to meld it together. I don't know, I'm making this movement but it starts to, you know, mix it. This is how my mom talks. It starts to like mix it together and it just turns out crazy. So I have officially been able to streamline what it is that is Deji and I's style, because if you are like me and you have a partner that actually cares about how your household looks, you know how difficult it is to meld both your personalities to make it a cohesive household. Anywho, we're gonna be talking about the things that just will not happen. They will not happen, you will not see them. If you guys see them in my house, call me out on it, come to my house, don't beat me up. But like come to my house and be like, babe, you know, try that kind of energy. I need you guys to hold me accountable to these things, because these are things I've seen over the years, even before I started thinking about the fact that I would have to live by myself or like move out and stuff like that, so that I'm just like, yeah, this is just not gonna work for me. The first thing, and I'm looking at them right now as I'm in my house, is bright / patterned curtains. See, I forgot to put a disclaimer. If you have any of these things that I'm talking about, don't take it personal. This is just how I feel. This is just like based on my style and like my mindset in general and my peace of mind. It doesn't mean that these things are just generally bad or that they are not nice. Some things are nice, but you just don't want to have them. Some things you just don't think are nice. Like it's a POV situation right now, so it's purely point of view. These curtains, first of all, anytime I see pattern curtains, there's this particular cartoon that I think was really popular back in the day, and at some point in time in the cartoon, I can't remember which one, one of the little girls, like a little girl needed a dress. Was it even Sound of Music? I remember either a movie or a cartoon where they literally took the curtain and cut and created a dress from it. Listen, I do not want any fancy dresses created from my curtains. I just honestly feel like a curtain is to serve a function. And you guys know how I feel about functional things from the last home video. It is important to serve a function first, but you now have the benefit of being able to choose how it looks while it serves that function. And I just don't understand why in a room where you are going to put brown wall, then you put 2 artworks here, then you put a bookshelf that will have its own things, and then you put plants, and then you put dry grass, and then you put this and you put that, you still feel the need for your curtains to have personality. I can't. I just don't want to. I can't and I don't want to. What I would recommend instead, if you still want to keep your curtains a bit like exciting or different, just work with texture. Don't put pattern. Work with texture. So it can be like a velvety texture, it can be like a linen texture or something, but like once you just start seeing green, purple, orange, or like those embroidered things that all our family members have now. So the next thing I have on my list is matching tables and chairs. On the one hand, when you buy a matching set of something, it's more affordable. That's just a fact. It's more affordable because they are made for each other and they are usually sold in a set. But on the other hand, I just feel like if you enter a living room and there are 3 chairs and all 3 of them look exactly the same, maybe one is the wider one and the other one is the shorter one. We have that in this living room upstairs as well. But my mom she tries to juxtapose it with like one big, the chair that you guys always see me film in is actually part of the furniture in the living room upstairs, but the remaining 2 pieces of furniture in there match each other exactly. I just feel like it's a very traditional way of doing things. I think in those days, and fashion repeats, to be honest, so we might get back to that point in time where everybody wants all their chairs and tables and their dining tables and dining chairs to match exactly. But I just feel like it's a missed opportunity if you have exactly the same furniture. That's what it feels like. It feels like you use minimal effort. I think one of the things that you should consider when like buying furniture, tables and chairs and like couches and stuff like that, is how you can move things around and how different your spaces can be over the years, and how like just basically how you can switch things around. Because when I think of having tables and chairs, obviously you guys are seeing pictures flash up on the screen, but like I think of maybe 2 different types of things, 2 different types of chairs or couches that match with each other, like they complement each other. But then when you switch them out, and it's kind of what we did during my introduction, we switched out the positioning of like the chairs that were downstairs, and people keep on asking like if we got new furniture. But if they look exactly the same as each other, you cannot tell. And when it's now time for you to switch things out or make things interesting, you literally have to buy new furniture, because like, what exactly are you going to do? This idea of a dining console like shelf, I am not necessarily keen on displaying plates. Or let me not say that. I am not necessarily keen on things that cause excessive clutter. I feel like, when you're talking to somebody, I don't want them to get offended. That's how I'm talking right now. I'm trying to like choose my words. I feel like when you have a console and then it has maybe like plates or like, maybe a tea service. I think some people have like tea services and stuff, and like maybe a sink or something like that. I just feel like that's more places for you to clean. Like, why can't you actually just keep your plates in the kitchen, and then when it's time to utilize them, bring them out, keep them neatly in a cabinet? Now I understand that for a lot of people it's a matter of function, and you guys know how I feel about function. If you take shots for every time I've said function in this video, then you know how I feel about function. So I know it's a matter of function because like there might not be enough space in the kitchen to have these things. But like, to be honest, I always envision myself, I finish sweeping the floor, mopping, cleaning dining table, I'll now start, because you can't now say that you will not move all those plates and everything to clean that thing, because it's a display now. Like, people have to see it. It's not like in your kitchen cabinets that maybe some things might be gathering dust. Some plates are special occasion plates. You haven't opened that place since, and you can just be like, okay, nobody's really going to see it. Or like, even if they see it, they have to literally go into the kitchen to see it. When somebody comes to visit you, they can see it. And when it's gathering dust, they can also see it. I just don't want to. Oh, I'm sorry. Now, this one, my best friend and my best friend's wife, so Alfred and his fiance. Sorry, before you guys start asking me, when did Alfred get married? You did not vlog, you did not say anything. Alfred is already married. Yeah, Alfred is quarter to married. He's pretty much engaged. They love black, so I know this is going to be a really big problem for them, but something that you will not see a lot of in my house is actually black. Give me a chance to explain. Baby, I can explain to the human style. The vision that I have for my home is one that is very zen. Like, I want to come home from dealing with human beings and the stresses of life and feel at peace. And you never really think about how a lot of things that you have in your home, be it like visual, be it like the smells and stuff like that, can affect how you see your home. Some people just see their houses as somewhere to go and sleep. For me, what the pandemic has taught me is that if you do not have a comfortable and a conducive environment, when the world is just not conducive on the outside, you are messed up, you are finished. Black tends to be very, very harsh in color. It doesn't allow things to flow a lot. Now, it doesn't mean that there will not be some black things. Obviously, naturally, there will just always be some things that have black. But what I'm trying to say with this one is that maybe because my style is not like modern, contemporary or whatever, but I feel like in a perfect world, my ideal, the darkest thing that I will have should be like a dark brown, maybe like shelves or something like that. I just feel like black can be very strong on the eyes, and it can, I don't know, do you guys get what I'm trying to say? God, I know so many of us are on this table, and like, for those that I love and care about, I don't want you to feel like I came to your house and I was just thinking, God forbid, this is just never going to work. I just can't stand the idea of velvet seating. You know, when like chairs, you go and you can touch the chair and you can stroke it and it's like soft and velvety. Yeah, I hate that. I hate it. The only way that I can see myself incorporating velvet into my household, especially because like when you sweat, like there are just so many things. Anyway, the only way I can see myself incorporating velvet is like throw pillows and stuff. I feel like it is such a weird and unusual commitment to make, to have a velvet chair, like with velvet on it that you sit on actively. First of all, velvet has a lot of the same properties as wool, which means that it absorbs things. So it absorbs smells, it absorbs moisture. You know, you come in one day, you're sweating, you're wearing your booty shorts, you're sweating on your booty, you sit on it, it soaks it up. I'm just like, God, please, I can't. To be completely honest, I just don't really like the look of velvet furniture in general. It makes me feel like it's like hairy. I don't know. Guys, as I'm going through this list, I'm realizing that it might just be me that's the problem here. But anything that I've said so far, and I say till the end of the video that you agree with, comment it below. And the ones that I haven't mentioned that you are low-key thinking of, comment it below as well. Let's help ourselves. Let's all be guided together. I don't know when I had my first experience of seeing like a weird clock, but I just feel like there are certain clocks that are really trendy that like I just personally do not like. I really just can't stand a weird clock. I know that for a lot of people, clocks can be like focal pieces and stuff like that, and you know, I mean, they tell the time. But if we're all being kind of realistic, at this point in time, in the day and age that we're in, if you have a clock in your house, it's almost purely aesthetics, because not a lot of people actively look at clocks, but they still always know the time. Because you made it to tell the time, but it's making it so complicated to focus on it to even tell the time in the first place. I don't know if you understand. Do you have a clock like that? Do you have a clock like that? Much like everything else, I understand, and I want you guys to understand that I understand. Listen, I understand. I'm on this with you. But we really need to stop with the faux plants, baby. We need to stop with the faux plants. If you cannot take care of plants, I just feel like maybe just don't have them as a focal piece in your household, because there are plants that literally only need to water once a month. That legitimately means that you can just set an alarm somewhere or put it on your calendar. You can just sit down in 5 minutes on the 20th of every month, or on the 20 something, like every 3 weeks, you water this plant. It is not that difficult. I just feel like people really do the absolute most. And the only reason I say this is not because there's not something novel about faux plants. Faux plants are very functional, but they can only be functional when they look realistic. When you enter a household and you're seeing purple, orange, magenta, then the stem of the plant is like a bright green, and then like, I'm just like, God, there's nobody, it's not deceiving anybody. Having real plants has so many benefits, and having faux plants has the benefit of laziness period. But I just cannot stand the idea of all white walls in a house. Like, all the walls in your house are white. Why? Is it a mental facility? Is it a hospital? Is it an asylum? Why white? Why white? Why? This one, aside from the fact that it does look very medical when I feel like all the walls in the house are white. I know that white is now, it has been really trendy. It's very trendy for all of us. White just photographs so well. It looks so nice. But I just feel like when you use white for all the walls in your house, it makes everything look so bland and basic. Like, your home doesn't express any kind of emotions. It just feels like a showroom. Also feels like something that you're not being intentional about. Yes, it's nice to have things that are like aesthetically pleasing, but like, white is not the only aesthetically pleasing color. We're still in the process of actually choosing colors, and what we have decided to do when choosing colors is that the high traffic areas will have like a warmer color, and then the low traffic areas will have like a darker color, and then we'll have one particular place that just has white, because I think that's, you know, it's exciting. Even without like doing too much with your decor and stuff like that, it already makes your house exciting and interesting for you and for anybody that visits. When you're accepting visitors, I don't know, because in Nigeria we'll be accepting visitors 24/7. Nothing really ever changed. Number 9, so second to the last thing on my list, and I know I'm going to get a lot of shit for this, is pampas grass. The problem is not that pampas grass is not cute. The problem is that the way that my personality is set up, and something I'm really trying to actively work on, when I see something overdone, I can't endorse it. This dry grass, not dry grass, sorry, because there are a lot of different types of dry grass. This pampas grass thing feels like something that people just see on Pinterest and put in their houses. Like, you just see it and you put it in your house. And what is even weirder is that there are now so many different random unnatural colors of this same dry grass. It doesn't go with any other decorative piece that you have. There's no vibe of it. Like, it can just be like, everything else can be extremely modern in your house, like sleek. All of a sudden you just see pampas grass on top of the table. Now, what I would recommend, if you are like me and you just don't like it because of how trendy it is, but you still want to have some kind of like dry thing. If you are one of those people that you don't really do well with live plants, and you also cannot stand faux plants, let me show you. This, I don't know if you can see this, is a bunch of weeds. I found them outside my house, like outside the gate of my house. I got 3 pieces. I might still do more, and I cut them into different heights so that it actually kind of looks, you know, very different, and it looks a bit elevated. And I put this inside an amber glass, and all of a sudden it's a decorative piece. Now, this might not be your steez, because I feel like a lot of things in life are just acquired tastes, but it is fun to experiment with what it is that you have. Meanwhile, with the seasons, naturally nature provides in your backyard what it is that you need. So I don't know, maybe I'm just somehow, I mean, not maybe, I'm definitely somehow. So last but certainly not the least is random knickknacks. And let me explain to you what a knickknack is. Knickknacks are things that are like space fillers for like shelves, for like console tables and stuff like that. Now it's not all knickknacks that are a problem. I feel like there's something to be said about people that have decorative things in their house that kind of tell some kind of story. They're not just random and like easily found, or like, you know, I don't know how to explain this without it sounding some type of way, but let me give an example now. So this dry grass thing that I just showed you guys, this weed thing that I showed you guys, is not something that you will just randomly find on the side of the road and that everybody has access to. A lot of knickknacks are generally just widely produced, so you will see them everywhere. And once again, for somebody like me, I'm not really fond of things that I don't want to go to my friend's house and be seeing exactly the same things that are in my house. Every once in a while I'll be like, oh, that's a nice coincidence. But because a lot of things just generally tend to trend, sometimes it's more difficult to get unique pieces. Something that is really cool is if somebody comes to your house, and obviously you're not decorating for people to come to your house and compliment you, but it's nice when you worked hard to make somewhere look a certain way and people come in and compliment you, and like they're like, oh my gosh, where did you get that? And a lot of these random knickknacks and things like that, like things that are just designed and created to take space, they don't really represent anybody's personality. For me, what makes me feel the need to hold on to certain trends is, one, how it makes me feel, which is why this video should not be taken seriously, because if anything that is written on the list or that I have on the list makes you feel good about your space, then it is doing its work, and this doesn't count for anything. But you do have to feel the way that you want to feel, and that's dependent on you. For me, when I go into different areas of my house, I really want to feel some kind of sanctity and peace. When it comes to Zoe's room, it can be utter chaos, because in the perfect world, by the time she gets to a certain age, she will know how she wants to do it. But thank God that it is behind the door and I don't have to interact with that. But as far as my spaces, I want people to come in and feel very peaceful. I want to come in after a long day and just feel like I am in like a spa environment, like I'm somewhere very peaceful and exciting. So with that being said, guys, these are some trends that I personally just don't really resonate with. Like I don't feel them. Doesn't mean that they're not nice, they just don't work for me. They just don't work for me. So let me know which one of these trends you actually legit like, and any other things that you feel like you don't like that I did not add. Like I said before, comment them below. And if you guys want me to do the opposite of this video, so basically trendy things that people be doing that I know for a fact I can't avoid that I'm going to have in my household. With that being said, do not forget that you are sugar, you are spice, and you are bomb ass jollof rice. Bye guys, and thank you so much for watching.